Hi YouTube, and in case you didn't know, winter is coming. So if you have reptiles and they're acting a little bit weird, they're eating less, they're sleeping more, it could be because they're getting ready to hibernate. Um, Especially if you're in an area where winter is coming a little earlier than it is for California. Because for California, summer doesn't really fully end until maybe mid-October, and then it's fall for like 3 weeks, and then it's winter. If you can call it that. I mean, it's like 50 to 60 degrees. But yeah, so certain reptiles like some garter snakes, turtles, tortoises, bearded dragons, and leopard geckos will hibernate in the wild, and sometimes they will mimic that in captivity. And if you are one of those people that likes to mimic their wild environment, then before having your pet hibernate, you want to do a health check, and you want to make sure they're doing well, everything, and then you want 2 weeks of their regular temperature. So like, Cosmo, as you saw, has 83 degrees at night. That's a regular temperature at night, because it is a little bit cooler at night. And outside it's kind of cold. It's gonna get colder, obviously. And so, Cosmo is by a window. And by the way, this is my glofish tank that I'll be showing you guys. I don't think I really did a video of it or like took a moment to show you guys my new tank, but here it is. I forgot if I showed you guys. Anyway, going off track. So yeah, the temperature, you're gonna want to keep it like how it normally is for 2 weeks, and then for 1 week you're gonna want to go down to room temperature, so like 70 to 75 degrees, so that they can get used to the colder temperature. And that's when they'll start falling asleep a little bit more and hiding out where they're going to hibernate. But during those 2 weeks where it's regular temperatures, you want to make sure that they eat and process their food, because if they don't, their food will get stuck inside them, because digestion stops during hibernation. So the food will be stuck inside them, and then it'll start to rot inside them, and it'll make them really sick, and they might not come out of hibernation. So it's really important to let them digest their food before they hibernate, and make sure they're in perfect health to be able to hibernate. Otherwise, when they hibernate, they will not wake up, or there's a chance that they won't wake up. So you gotta be on top of that if you want them to hibernate, or if they choose to hibernate. And for tortoises, you want to keep them moist. So I don't know if it's daily or every other day or so. You want to dip them in water, or you can get like moist-ish dirt from outside and scraps of newspaper and put it in the tub that you will be putting your tortoise in, and that will keep them moist because it'll be humid. And if you do choose to have a burrowing reptile that wants a humid area to burrow, don't dry it out, because they'll become dehydrated, and don't make it too moist, because if it's too moist, they will develop respiratory infections, and again, they might not wake up from hibernation. So here's Viserys. He is my gargoyle gecko. He is about 8 months old now. I got him 2 months ago at the end of August, the day after I got Cosmo. And here's his pattern, and he's really pretty. But again, I'm going off track a little bit. I just kind of wanted to show you guys because I haven't showed him, and I thought this might be an appropriate video to kind of introduce him a little bit, because he's a tropical reptile. Now, tropical reptiles you know, their temperatures can stay the same. That's his nighttime temperature. It's doing good, but because his door is open, the humidity is going down, so I don't want to keep that open for too long. And here is his light, and for reptiles that are tropical, you will need a light or some source of heat for them to maintain their normal temperatures and normal humidity. And so I have a tropical UVB light for Viserys, as well as his little waterfall and his moist dirt, which helps keep his temperature where it needs, or his humidity where it needs to be. The light helps the temperature. And so here's like a kind of quick view of his tank. Kind of, the bromeliad is, you know, it has a baby, so it's starting to grow out again from the bottom. I just have to detach it. But yeah, back to the dirt. This dirt would be too moist for a burrowing reptile that is hibernating, so that would be bad. And so you know, like, I guess most frogs actually don't hibernate, but if they do begin to show signs of like hibernation, it's something called estivation, and it's mostly Pac-Man frogs. And estivation isn't always good for them, because it could mean that their temperature needs aren't being met, that their enclosure could be too dry, or there are sometimes just unknown reasons why they go into estivation. But here's Mako, and she was buried completely under her dirt, and she didn't really want to eat, which is sometimes it's unusual for her. This time, thinking about it, I don't think it was too unusual, because for the past 6 months I've had her on a feeding schedule where I feed her around 10 p.m. every Wednesday, and I fed her last night, which was a Friday. So I think that kind of contributed to her rejecting her food, because she normally wouldn't reject her food. And right now, you can't see it, but there are crickets wandering around her tank, and she's just sitting there. She's not really eating them. She ate maybe 2 or 3, I want to say, but she's not eating them right now, so it's a little bit odd for her. And she's kind of just sitting there, so I'm watching her, making sure that she doesn't go into estivation, because her temperatures have been a little bit cooler, especially at night. And as for Raspberry, he has been completely buried underground, as you can see, and that is not normal for him necessarily. He has never done that in the whole 8 months I've had him. So I'm hoping that this is just a result of the temperature cooling down a little bit. Maybe he's buried to try to stay warm and moist, because with cooler air there is also drier air, and if you have tropical reptiles or amphibians that do not hibernate and the air is cooler, you want to make sure that the humidity remains where it should be, because in the winter it is a little bit harder to maintain humidity, because colder air just kind of dries the air out in general a little bit faster. But anyway, so for reptiles that do hibernate, what you want to do is, like, you know, for the lizards especially that hibernate, because they will wake up during the winter to drink water, and then they'll go back to their hide and sleep. So what you want to do is always make sure that they have fresh water available. That's really important, because they can lose weight if they're not hydrating properly, because the weight that they are at the beginning of hibernation is purely water weight. So they are living off of their body fat and water weight, and it is highly recommended that you weigh them every 10 to 14 days, and any weight they lose is water that they lost. So what you would do then is to put them in a soak for a few minutes and then put them back. But that's it for the hibernation. And so at the end of the video, before I go, I want to show you my hawk moth cocoons. So there's one in this dirt cup. I think it should be ready to hatch any day now, unless the colder air has made it want to wait until it gets warmer, because they can wait until spring to hatch, because they can feel the air through their cocoon, and if it's too cold, it's telling them, you know, wait, because the flowers might be dead, you won't have any food. And here are 3 more cocoons that I had that I did not know I had. And that's what they look like. Those are smaller hawk moths though. The other one is probably twice the size of the one in the middle. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated on my hawk moths and hornworms and stuff. I did post a video about it, but it was pretty bad, so I'm taking it down. By the time you see this, it will have been taken down. And yeah, when my hawk moth hatches, I will do a better updated video with audio that doesn't sound like I recorded it in the washing machine. But until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave me a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions or want to say anything, and share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Bye bye.